The Eye of the Pharaoh. Prologue. In the vast, unforgiving desert of Egypt, archaeologists often sought the treasures of the ancient world. Among them, Dr. Samuel Carter, a renowned Egyptologist, had dedicated his life to uncovering the secrets buried beneath the sands. One fateful expedition led his team to the discovery of a forgotten tomb, said to belong to a lost pharaoh whose name had been erased from history. Little did they know, their find would unleash a curse that had been dormant for millennia. Chapter 1. The Discovery. The entrance to the tomb was hidden behind layers of sand and rock, but with determination and hard work, Dr. Carter's team unearthed the stone doorway. Intricate hieroglyphs adorned the entrance, warning of a terrible curse. Ignoring the ancient warnings, they proceeded inside, driven by the promise of fame and fortune. As they ventured deeper, the air grew stale and cold. In the burial chamber, they found the sarcophagus of the pharaoh, and upon opening it, discovered a stunning artifact, the Eye of the Pharaoh, a jewel said to hold immense power. Dr. Carter decided to bring the jewel back to their base camp for further study, unaware of the curse they had awakened. Chapter 2. The Return. Returning to their camp, the team celebrated their discovery. The Eye of the Pharaoh gleamed under the desert sun, mesmerizing everyone who laid eyes on it. However, strange things began to happen almost immediately. Equipment malfunctioned, and several team members fell ill with no apparent cause. Dr. Carter's assistant, Rachel, started to have vivid nightmares of the tomb and the pharaoh's vengeful spirit. She awoke each night drenched in sweat, convinced that the pharaoh was coming for them. The others dismissed her fears, attributing them to stress and exhaustion. Chapter 3. The Haunting. As days passed, the situation worsened. Team members reported seeing shadowy figures around the camp and hearing whispers in the wind. One night, a powerful sandstorm swept through, nearly destroying their tents and equipment. In the chaos, the jewel was lost, and panic set in. Rachel, now deeply disturbed, convinced Dr. Carter to search for the jewel and return it to the tomb. They scoured the camp and found it half buried in the sand, but its once brilliant glow had dimmed. Determined to end the curse, they set out for the tomb, but the journey back was fraught with danger. Chapter 4. The Return to the Tomb. Upon reaching the tomb, they encountered a series of deadly traps they had previously avoided. It was as if the tomb itself was trying to prevent them from entering again. Narrowly escaping with their lives, they reached the burial chamber. The temperature dropped, and an eerie silence filled the air as they approached the sarcophagus. Dr. Carter placed the jewel back in its rightful place, but the pharaoh's spirit, now awakened and angered, manifested before them. The spirit demanded retribution for the disturbance of its eternal rest. The team had to find a way to appease the pharaoh's wrath before it consumed them all. Chapter 5. The Ritual. Rachel, recalling the hieroglyphs on the tomb's entrance, suggested performing a ritual to appease the spirit. They quickly gathered the necessary items and began the ritual, chanting the ancient words inscribed on the walls. As they did, the ground trembled, and a blinding light filled the chamber. The pharaoh's spirit, now visible and more terrifying than ever, hovered above them. It seemed to listen, then gradually began to dissipate, the tension in the air slowly lifting. The tomb's oppressive atmosphere started to fade, and the temperature returned to normal. They had succeeded, at least for the moment. Chapter 6. The Aftermath. Leaving the tomb, the team felt an overwhelming sense of relief. The curse seemed to have lifted, and they returned to their base camp, ready to leave the desert behind. However, Dr. Carter couldn't shake the feeling that the Pharaoh's spirit was still watching them. As they packed up, he made the decision to leave archaeology behind, recognizing the dangers of disturbing the past. Epilogue. Years later, the legend of the Eye of the Pharaoh remained a cautionary tale among archaeologists. Dr. Carter retired, dedicating his life to preserving history without disturbing it. Rachel, now a renowned scholar, often recounted their harrowing experience, warning others of the perils of greed and the importance of respecting the ancient dead. The Eye of the Pharaoh, still resting in the tomb, serves as a silent guardian of the past, a reminder that some treasures are meant to remain buried.